Hello friends! So like pretty much everyone has played The Sims, I'll have times in my life when I am completely addicted to the game. Like I'll play it in every spare minute, sometimes even putting off actual life maintenance things, for about a week until I'm bored and then I get done with the game for a while. And a few weeks ago a couple of my friends got introduced to the game, so they got addicted to it, which meant I had to pick it up again, so now I'm addicted to it again. And now we're back to all Sims all the time. So when I was about 3 hours deep into the Sims marathon, I couldn't help but wonder, what is it about Sims that is so addicting? I mean, if you really think about it, a vast majority of stuff in The Sims is stuff that you could do in your actual life. I mean, yes, some of it would be really expensive to do, although maybe we would be able to afford it if we weren't always paying for simulation games. But some of the things could potentially even earn you money in your real life. And yet, no matter the action, big or small, we end up preferring to do it in the game. Now, I was discussing this with my friends, and they came up with a theory that people get hooked on The Sims because it's like the adult version of playing with dolls. And I mean, that could easily be a good part of it. Both playing with dolls and playing with Sims are basically ways of living through situations that you may or may not be a part of at some point. And with that, the benefit that Sims would have for adults comes in the form of unexpected external stimuli. In the game, you have to deal with your Sims' needs, with fires, with burglars, with your job, etc. When you're playing with dolls, you might feed them, but there's no chance that they're gonna die. The same is not true for The Sims. So in short, playing The Sims is like playing dolls in expert mode. So anyway, then I looked up why The Sims is so addictive because I'm curious. And as it turns out, a lot of people have a reasonably similar idea. Instead of liking Sims because it's the adult version of dolls, a lot of people think people like Sims because you get to play God. And I suppose that makes sense. When you have a baby doll or something, usually you end up involved in that plot, for lack of a better word. And with that, you usually end up with less complicated scenarios, because you can't get too messed up in your own storyline. However, when you graduate to Sims, or hell, even Barbies, you're not part of the plot anymore, so you can get as complicated as you want. And that leads to your ability to make more complex stories, as well as your budding sense of total control. And let's face it, having total control is fun, as is all the situations you can put your sim through. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out why that sort of fun would be addictive. Now, being addicted to the game is not a bad thing. Well, unless you're letting it take over your entire life. That might not be the best idea in the world. But for the rest of us who are just going to play it all the time for a little bit, that's perfectly fine. In fact, it's a hell of a lot better than a lot of stuff we can get addicted to. You just gotta figure out how to be able to put the game down for a little bit to go about your everyday life. Speaking of which, my sim is probably awake now, so I'm gonna head out and go play that some more. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys!